There are many ways to balance a chemical equation. However, there are some techniques that will make balancing a lot easier. Hi, Mr. B here. In this video, I will explain how to balance simple equations using a variety of techniques. Let's begin by balancing this simple chemical equation that has been written from this word equation. The first step in balancing is to analyze the amount of material that we begin with compared to the amount of material that we end with. We begin with 1 beryllium and we end with 1 beryllium. So the number of berylliums will balance. After all, the whole purpose of balancing equations is to ensure that the law of conservation of matter is upheld. In other words, according to the law of conservation of matter, matter is not lost during a chemical reaction. So we begin with 1 beryllium, we end with 1 beryllium. We begin with 2 chlorides, but we end with 1 chloride. So that's a problem in itself. We begin with 1 silver, we end with 1 silver, so the silvers do balance. And as a polyatomic ion, we always try to balance the polyatomic ions as a unit, assuming they're not changed from one side to the other side. We have 1 nitrate on the left side, and on the right side we have 2 nitrates. So clearly the nitrates are also an issue. When balancing, 2 critical things must be remembered. The first thing is that we only use coefficients to balance. In other words, we will not use a subscript at any time when balancing an equation. Since there are 2 nitrates on the right side and 1 nitrate on the left side, the nitrates are indeed out of balance. So let's balance the nitrates with a coefficient. This brings us to the next critical fact. You may not balance nitrates or balance anything by breaking the formula apart and placing a coefficient in front of the species within a formula. You may not alter a formula to balance an equation. You may, however, use a coefficient in front of the entire formula. Placing a 2 in front of silver nitrate will double the number of silvers as well as the number of nitrate ions in the compound. So now on the left side we have 2 silvers and 2 nitrate ions. This will now bring our nitrates into balance. However, we have 2 silvers on the left side and 2 chlorides on the left side, whereas we only have 1 silver and 1 chloride on the right side. This problem is easily solved by using a coefficient in front of the silver chloride. This represents the proper balanced equation. for the process in which beryllium chloride and silver nitrate react to produce beryllium nitrate and silver chloride. Now let's balance this simple combustion reaction where methane burns in the presence of oxygen to produce carbon dioxide and water. Let's begin with the carbons. One carbon, one carbon. Now the hydrogens. 4 hydrogens, 2 hydrogens, so we must increase the number of hydrogens by placing a coefficient 2 in front of the water, which will also increase the number of oxygens. Two oxygen atoms, and on this side we have 2, 4, so we have 4 oxygens on the right side. To balance the oxygens, place a 2 in front of the O2. Okay, I could go on and on about this process, but if you just remember the techniques that you've seen so far in this video, you should have no problem solving any practice problem. Anyway, this is Mr. B. Have a great day. Catch you in my next video. Take care.